It was 39 years ago today that the Edmund Fitzgerald went down during a storm on Lake Superior. 29 men died when the ship sank. Several books have been written about it, and it was memorialized by Gordon Lightfoot's song, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. The ship left Superior, Wisconsin on November 9th, headed for Detroit. It sank a day later, about 15 miles from Whitefish Bay. A ceremony in Detroit today honored sailors lost on inland waterways, as well as observing the 39th anniversary of the ship sinking.
The Great Lakes, of course, are known for their shipwrecks, from the large ones that are well known, like the Fitzgerald, to smaller ones that are still waiting to be discovered. For one Michigan diver, he didn't find just one shipwreck, he found a cluster of them in Lake Michigan. 24-Hour News 8's Danny Carlson in studio tonight would look at some of these amazing discoveries, Danny.
Brian, Ross Richardson has been in the business of looking into and finding shipwrecks for more than a decade. This summer, he came across the ultimate find. 5 shipwrecks all in one spot. We spoke with Richardson via Skype today about the discoveries. He says he spent last winter researching Skillagallee Island. It sits between Cross Village and Beaver Island and is in an extremely remote spot. This summer, Richardson went out on the water by himself, expecting to find one shipwreck, and instead uncovered 5. He tells us this is the biggest cluster of shipwrecks he's ever discovered, but he's having a tough time identifying all of them.
Yeah, it's definitely the most, and I think it's the only place in Lake Michigan that has a concentration of shipwrecks like this in one spot. In the case of these shipwrecks, these are pre-Civil War shipwrecks from the 1850s, so they've been out there a long time. So it's really hard to be definitive, to put a name down, especially when you find a few different wrecks. So I think I have a pretty good hunch of what a couple of them are, though it's very hard to be 100% positive.
Richardson tells us he found an old bottle, a mast hoop, and even some shackles this summer at the wreck sites. Today, he told us he believes there may be a few other shipwreck sites in the location. He tells us he plans to go back next summer and do the same thing.
Wow, that's so interesting.
It's just so fascinating, all that history.
And those wrecks are preserved a little bit better in freshwater, right? Because as they don't corrode, I guess, or dissolve as fast.
Well, part of the problem with this one that he's having a little bit of trouble identifying is because of the ice and the waves just hitting the ships. Yeah, they're really getting battered and kind of bruised a little bit. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to identify, but still just amazing. I mean, those pictures just...
Great diving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just love to hear about that. Okay.
Thanks, Danny.